picture for people watching. All right, and we're live. Last week, it cut out mid-video, so it's only got like 26 minutes. So there's like a little yellow button on there, and I can't see it from all the way back here, but I will try and keep an eye on it. So sorry for last week. Yeah.
Technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties, yes. I won't be internet famous for a while yet. That's okay.
It's right
I will be. All right, microphone on, socks off. Okay, oh, that's not very, it's pretty dark. It doesn't really. Okay, I'm sitting. That's really weird. I'm sitting, you can't see me. All right, sorry guys. A little bit. Okay. All right, well, good morning, welcome. And we're going to get started and do some nice, gentle yoga this morning. Let's start with sitting up nice and tall. And let's just take a moment and check in with the body. Notice where you're holding on to tension. And then let's take a moment to check in with the breath. Not changing anything, just noticing what the breath is up to this morning. Wonderful. All right, so let's open the eyes if you closed them, and we'll start with the small joints today. So let's begin by bringing the arms out in front. And we'll tuck the thumbs, wrap the fingers around, big circles around the wrist. Excellent, one direction and then switch. Some people like to have the hands go in different directions at the same time. Whatever feels good. Bring into the elbows and the shoulders. Very nice. All right, we'll release that and then bring the palms together and release the fingers and figure eights. Excellent. And release that, shake that off. And then extend the right arm, bring the fingers back towards the shoulder gently. Nice, and then drop down towards the floor. And other arm, fingers back towards the shoulder. And go down towards the floor. Excellent. And shake that out, that feels okay. All right, let's come up to the neck and shoulders. If you're sitting cross-legged and it gets uncomfortable, you can always bring your legs out straight. Or if it's uncomfortable to sit on the floor, you're welcome to always sit in the chair. All right, neck and shoulders. So we'll start with an inhale. On the exhale, chin comes down towards the chest. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, bring it all the way back down. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, all the way back down. And because it feels so good, let's go one more time. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, all the way back down. Wonderful. Inhale back to center. And then let's go side to side. So we'll inhale again. On the exhale, left ear comes to the left shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, right ear towards the right shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Excellent. Inhale, back to center. One more time each side. Exhale to the left. If you want to bring this left arm out and over. Resting that left hand on the right side of the head. Making space between that right ear and right shoulder. Breathing into any tension. Letting go of the tension with the exhale. Excellent. And we'll inhale, release that left arm, head comes up. Exhale, right ear, right shoulder, right arm comes out and resting that right hand on the left side of the head. Making space between that left ear and left shoulder. Breathing into any tension, letting it go with the exhale. Very nice. We'll release that right arm. Inhale, head comes back to center. All right. Twist. So we'll inhale. On the exhale, gaze looks out and around towards the left, bringing the chin towards the left shoulder. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, looking towards the right, chin towards the right shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale to the right. Inhale, back to center. One more time each side. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, back to center. And then let's move down to the shoulders. So we're going to inhale, bring the shoulders forward and up. Exhale, down and back. Inhale and exhale. Couple on your own. And then if you'd like, switch directions. Inhale, back and up. Exhale, down and forward. Excellent. And a couple more, either direction or simply straight up and down. Wonderful. All right, let's bring the legs out in front. If you're sitting up on something, you can come down off of that if you'd like. Or if you weren't on anything, you want to sit on something, you're welcome to try that too. All right, so let's start by extending the heels away from the hips and trying to sit up in a nice tall posture. If possible, I understand tight hips or tight thighs, that might be uncomfortable. You're going to always bend your knees. We're going to push the heels away. And then when you're ready, you're going to point the toes. That's our inhale breath. And then flex is our exhale breath. Excellent. And then let's make some circles around at the ankles. One direction, the other. You can do both feet at the same time. Maybe you're coordinated enough and you can go opposite. Not really. All right. And then we haven't done this in a while. We're going to turn the soles of the feet in towards the center line. And then the tops of the feet. So the pinky toe comes back towards the shoulder, and then big toe, pinky toe. Excellent. And then let's finish with our windshield wipers. Noticing that rotation comes all the way up into that hip joint, external rotation, internal rotation. Excellent. And we're done with that. We're going to shake the legs out. From here, let's cross the legs again if that's comfortable. You can leave them out straight if it's uncomfortable to sit cross-legged. If you remember which leg you had in front, switch. If you don't, that's okay. Either way. All right, so we're going to come into our 6 directions of the spine. And we'll start with hands in front of the knees if the legs are crossed, or hands under the thighs if the legs are held straight. So we're going to exhale, round the spine, coming into our cat. We tuck the chin. On the inhale, we're going to round the curve the opposite way, looking up towards the ceiling. Exhale back. Inhale, coming forward. Exhale back. Excellent. And then when you're ready, we'll come back to that neutral spine. And if you want to use blocks or books or whatever you have at home, you can do that. We're going to come into our next 2 directions, which is our laterals from the side to side. You can do this on the floor, but I find, I mean, you can even see it in the video, when I have my hands up on my blocks, I'm sitting up taller and I'm making more space in the spine. So if you have them, great. If you don't, you will be fine. But just pay attention to that alignment in the spine. All right, so I'm going to start with the left hand on the block. I'm going to inhale this right hand up. Exhale, right back. Inhale, other side. Exhale. All right, so the next time I bring my right arm up, I'm going to inhale and go over a little further. Feeling that length from the fingers to the hip. Exhale, bring it back. Inhale, other side. Exhale, back. So next time we go up with this right hand, we're going to pause here for a moment and take an extra breath. You'll breathe into this lower right rib cage. And then take another inhale, exhale, bring the arm back. The other side, inhale, this right arm comes, or sorry, left arm comes up, breathing into that left lower rib cage. And then take another inhale and release. Awesome. All right, so let's come into our twist next. Move your blocks out of the way. So since we're still kind of at the beginning, we're still warming up the spine a bit, we're just going to go gentle with this twist. So we're going to inhale, lifting up out of the spine, and on the exhale, right hand comes to the left, looking around towards that left shoulder. Inhale, coming back. Exhale, other side. Inhale, center. Exhale, into the twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Excellent. And one more time each side. Excellent. We're going to do one more on each side. We're going to pause with the breath. So we'll inhale, On the exhale, twist to the left. And we're gonna go for the back of the rib cage on the bottom back here. So we'll inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. You're gonna inhale, come back to center. On the exhale, going towards the right. And then again, inhaling into that lower back, left rib cage. One breath and one more. Exhale, and then on the next inhale, come back to center. All right, so we did 2 non-symmetrical movements. We're going to come back to a symmetrical spine with our cat and cow. So we're going to exhale back to cat, tuck the chin down, inhale, rounding up to cow and leading with the collarbones. Look up towards the ceiling, exhale, rounding back. Inhale, looking up. Exhale back. And then we'll come back to center. Excellent. All right. So let's come up onto our, let's do forward fold first, and then we're going to come up onto our hands and knees. All right. So for our forward fold, we're going to bring the legs out in front. There, yeah, that would be back then. All right, and then we're going to kind of find our sit bones. And we're going to sit up nice and tall. And we're just going to do this gently and just to a minimum amount of tension that we're coming into. So we'll inhale, lift up, and then on the exhale, we just walk the hands forward. We're hinging at the hips. Hands come forward, wherever that is, it's totally fine. And let's take 3 breaths here. So we're going to inhale, lift up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up. Exhale, forward fold. And one more time, inhale. And exhale. Take a breath or 2 in the fold. And then when you're ready to come up, we're going to inhale and walk the hands back nice and slow. Excellent. All right, so let's come up to hands and knees. So if you have comfortable knees and you want to come onto blanket or some kind of padding, beach towel, whatever you have handy. All right. All right, so first let's find that neutral spine. Take a breath or 2 here. And then let's start with an inhale, and we're going to come into our cow pose. So again, we're leading the way with the collarbones, looking towards the horizon. The curve of the spine from the shoulders towards the hips is down towards the floor. On the exhale, we're going to round the spine the opposite way, bringing the shoulder blades up towards the ceiling, tucking the chin. Inhale, round, looking up towards the horizon. Exhale, back to cat. And when you're ready, let's come back to that neutral spine. And we're going to come into our lateral. So this left hand stays where it is. We're going to walk the right hand over towards the left, maybe next to it, in front of it, past, wherever that feels right for you today. And then we're going to turn and look at that left foot. And we're going to take the breath Let's do a full body breath here from the right fingertips all the way to the right toes. Inhale. And then exhale all the way back up. One more inhale. And exhale. And let's do it one more time just for good luck. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Walk that right hand back. Now let's go to the other side. Left hand comes over towards the right, next to, in front of, past. We're going to turn and look at that right foot. Same thing. Inhale from the left fingers to the left toes. Exhale from the left toes to the left fingers. Two more. Inhale. And exhale. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. All right. Left hand comes back. And then we're going to come into our gate poses. So we'll do our low gate pose first. And that looks like this. We're going to bring this right foot out to the side. Left hand stays where it is. On an inhale, let's bring this right hand up towards the ceiling. And depending on how your neck feels, you can look down at that left hand, horizon, or up at that right hand. When you're ready, we'll take another inhale. On the exhale, right hand comes down and tuck that right knee under. All right, to the other side, left foot comes out to the side, right hand stays where it is. On the inhale, bring that left arm up towards the ceiling. Then again, your gaze can be down at that right hand, up at the left hand, or anywhere in between. When you're ready, we're going to take an inhale. On the exhale, left hand comes down, and left knee tucks under. Next, we're going to come into our tall gate pose. So if you have a block and you want to use it, you can for switching legs. It's nice for a little balance there. All right. So this time we're going to start with the left leg out. Bring the left leg out to the side. This left hand can be on that left hip, or it can come down that left leg. We're going to inhale this right arm up. On the exhale, coming over towards the left foot. And if you have your balance here and you want to make this a little bit more of a twist, look up under that right arm. If you have your balance. If you don't, stay where you are. All right, when you're ready to come out, we're going to inhale that right arm up. Exhale, release. And then this is what the block is for. Tuck that left knee under. Send that right foot out. And then right hand can be on that right hip or come down that right leg. Inhale, left arm comes up. On the exhale, left arm comes over towards the right foot. And again, if you have your balance here and you want to, you can look up under that left arm. Beautiful. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, release. Use the hand on the block to tuck that right knee under. All right. Let's come back down for a moment and come into our cat and cow again. So we did a twist and a lateral, so we want to do back to symmetrical with the spine. So we're going to exhale, cat. Inhale, cat. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cat. Wonderful. Okay, so let's do a little core strength here while we're on our hands and knees. So we're going to start with our spinal balance. First, we're going to send this left leg back. Right arm comes forward, or it might be easier if you go arm first and then leg back. Habits. One way may be easier than the other. So we're extending forward with the fingers, back with the heel. Take a couple breaths here. Excellent. And then return back to our tabletop. Take a nice breath in the middle here. And then going to the other side, send that right leg back, left arm comes forward, or if you want to do arm first and then leg. And then a couple of breaths on this side. Wonderful. Release that hand and knee back down to the floor. Take a full breath here in the middle. And then we're going to come into our tiger tail. And this is a great stretch for the top of the thigh, the quad. All right, so let's start with the right leg first. Right leg comes back, bend at the knee, bend at the ankle. And then we're going to take the opposite arm again. Left arm comes forward, out, and around. And then if you can, grab that right foot with the left hand. If you push that foot into the hand, that's where you get that wonderful stretch. If you can't reach your foot, that's okay. Just extend back. And then when you're ready, release the hand. Come down to the knee. Let's take a nice full breath here. And then go to the other side. Left leg comes back, bend at the knee, bend at the ankle. Right arm comes forward and around, grabbing that left foot with the right hand. And we'll take a breath here. Push that left hand into the right, left foot into the right hand. Stretching that left quad. And then release that side. We're going to come into a child's pose from here. Knees can be wide on your mat, and then big toes together, sitting back towards the heels. If that's comfortable. If it's not, you can keep the hips up and bring the forehead down. Looking sort of like our puppy pose. If you want, you can rest your forehead on a block, or stack your fist. That's too low. Finding the most comfortable position for this pose, and this pose might not be comfortable for everybody, I understand that. Take one or two more breaths here. Beautiful. All right, coming up nice and slow. Let's come up to our hands and knees. And we're going to come into a downward facing dog to come up to a forward fold. If downward facing dog is not in your practice today, you can come up slowly to standing or to that forward fold. But otherwise, if you're ready for your down dog, we're going to walk the hands forward just a little bit, curl the toes under. On the inhale, we're going to lift the hips up towards the ceiling. Top of the head faces down towards the floor. So we're kind of looking at the feet maybe. And we're going to push in with the hands and send the torso towards that back corner. You always have a bend in the knees. And then let's take a moment here and walk our dog. So we're going to bend one knee, send the opposite heel towards the floor. And yes, I did say towards, it doesn't have to actually touch. But you can always keep your knees bent in down dog. Now we'll take 1 or 2 more breaths here, pushing with the hands, extend the spine. And when you're ready to come out, you can look up at the hands and walk the feet up to the hands, or walk the hands back to the feet. So moving anything that's on your mat out of the way. And we're going to pause here for just a moment in the forward fold. Knees are bent if that's comfortable, or bending as comfortable as needed. And then when you're ready to come out, we're going to bend the knees a little deeper, bring the arms out to the side, pushing with the feet. And inhale, arms come all the way up, palms together, exhale, hands to heart. All right. So we have a spring congestion here. The wind is blowing and the tree pollen is flying around, so we're not going to do a lot of forward folds today to keep that from getting all the sinus and pressure in there. All right, so what do we want to do instead? We're just going to balance and our warriors. So let's actually start with our balance pose today. All right, so what do we have? We're going to start with our mountain pose. Trying to get a good spot where you can see totally back of it. All right, big toes touching, heels are maybe a couple inches away from each other. If that's not comfortable, you can bring the feet hip-width distance apart. And if that's still not enough, you can bring them out wider. Or on these sticky mats where your feet are not stuck there, you can always move if it's not comfortable. All right, so let's find this mountain pose. I'm going to give you just 2 little points on the body to pay attention to. So right here in front, the front of the hip, that little bony part right there, the hip points here. So we're going to gently engage this lower abdominal wall to bring those 2 towards each other. And that's going to relax the back of the hips. So in here, and relaxing the back. And then we're going to come all the way up to the hyoid bone. So it's a little horseshoe-shaped bone that goes back in, and it's what helps us swallow. So we're going to imagine that, horse reins. So you're going to pull back and then up towards the crown of the head. So we have a tendency to, can't really tell in the video maybe, rounding the shoulders, tilting the head forward. What this does is it pulls the head so it's aligned properly over the spine. Because that's a lot of weight when it's off its designated spot. That can cause a lot of pain all the way to the back of the spine. All right, palms can face forward or towards each other. A little softness in the knee. We're rooting down with the feet into the earth, crown of the head up towards the sky. And most important, we want to keep that breath going. It's our beautiful, strong, powerful mountain pose. When you're ready, if you've closed your eyes, you can float around open, and we'll come into our next pose. All right, so let's do a tree pose. And I typically come off my mat. I know it's only like maybe an 1/8 of an inch thick, but it affects my balance. All right, so we're going to start level 1 with our tree pose. Right foot in the mat or on the floor. Left heel comes above that right ankle, so we're in a tripod. So you can't see anything, but I'm exaggerating here. We want to keep this hip nice and tall and strong all the way around. Left hip is open. Hands can be at the heart. And we'll take a breath here. When you're ready, we're going to grow our branches. Sway the wind. I think it's pretty windy out today. All that tree pollen floating around, getting me all stuffy. If you have your balance and you want to come up with your foot onto the calf, that's fine. You do opposing forces. So you push the right leg into the left foot into that right leg. Extend up through the crown of the head. Talk, move your hands, breathe. All right, so when you're ready to come up, we're gonna release that gracefully. And then shake your legs up if you like. All right, let's switch feet. Left foot comes into the mat, right heel, or on the floor, right heel above the left ankle. Again, exaggerating, coming into a nice strong hip on the left side, open on the right. Hands can be at the heart. And then we're going to grow our branches. Most important thing always with your tree pose is breathing. If you have your balance, or bring your foot up. You can do that. If you want to keep it on the floor, you're always welcome to do that. And then when you're ready, coming out nice and exhale. All right, shake it out. So one of the things that I like to do with balance is moving balance. As we get older, sometimes it happens, I know, but generally we don't just fall over when we're standing. It's usually while we're in motion. So if we have that muscle memory to help us while we're moving stay balanced, we're less likely to fall over. Or we recover quickly if we've got the strength to do that. All right, so we're going to start with our palm tree pose. And this one looks like this. We come up on the toes, and inhale the arms up, and then exhale, come back down. Over this side, you can see the full thing, but you can't because now it's all dark again. Technology, not my strong suit. All right, here we go. So we'll inhale, coming up. Exhale. Inhale up. Exhale down. So the idea is to find a place on the floor or on the wall where something isn't moving, and that will help keep your balance. If you're watching yourself on the video, that's when you fall over. Excellent. And maybe one or two more. Beautiful. All right. Our next one is our Karate Kid or Flying Crane. And this one, got a choice with the arms to come out to the side or come up like that. I'm sure there's other choices, but I'm giving you two. And then we're going to bring one leg up, bending at the knee. All right, ready? Here we go. So we'll inhale and exhale. And then other side, inhale and exhale. Beautiful, and one more each side. Excellent. All right. Let's do our eagle pose, and then see what we have left after that. All right. So with our eagle pose, we have, again, minimum 3 options. I'm going to show you my idea of the 3 options. So 3 options with the arms, 3 options with the legs. First option is arms come out, and then we wrap them around, and then the palms meet up. Second option is crossing the arms and then holding onto the shoulders if your shoulders hurt. And then third option is what we call elephant arms. And so the forearms and the palms are together. So that one is your third option. All right. so with the feet, we have 3 options as well. So we kind of bend the knees like we're doing like a little half seat. We're gonna cross one leg over, so that foot is on the floor. Second option, cross the leg over, foot on the block. And then the third option is wrapping that leg around while you have your arms squeezed. Okay, 3 options. I'm gonna do up on the block and crossing all the way around. All right, with the arms. So we're gonna start with the arms out in this beautiful wingspan of our eagle, or it's actually a bird. So we're going to bring the right arm under the left and wrap it around so that the right hand is grabbing the left hand. We're going to bend the knees and cross that right leg over the left. We're going to take 3 breaths here. So we're going to inhale, arms come up. Exhale down. Inhale, coming up. Exhale down. And one more time, inhale. Exhale down, unwind, open, uncross the legs. Excellent. Then if you have a block, I'm going to switch the block to the outside of that left foot. Open the arms again, and this time the left arm comes under the right. We're going to bend the knees, and the left leg crosses over the right. All right, 3 breaths here. Inhale, coming up. Exhale down. Inhale, coming up. Exhale down, and one more. Inhale. And unwind the arms, open up, uncross, and you're done. Awesome. All right, let's do our warrior 1. All right, so coming halfway back, 2/3 on the mat, doesn't have to be exact. Turn the left foot out, step this right foot forward. And we're going to start with just opening up that knee a little bit. My first yoga teacher always says, the motion is the lotion. So I'm going to keep that moving. All right, so let's start with an inhale. On the exhale, bend that knee. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Beautiful. Next time that leg is bent, we're going to push off and step it out. All right, going to the other side, turn that right foot out, step the left foot forward. And bend the knee. So inhale first, and then exhale, bend the knee. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Very nice. And one more. And then we push up, step back. All right, so let's add the arms. And what kind of day is it? It is a cactus arm day. That's what we're going to do. Okay. You have options. You can do other ones. You can do arms straight up, or you can do arms out. We're going to do arms bent to the elbow. Okay. Left foot out, right foot forward. On the inhale, arms come up, bend at the elbows, bend the knee. Exhale, bend. Inhale. And exhale. So if you remember your back heart alignment, this is a good way to connect with that again. So we're moving shoulder blades in towards each other, relaxing the top of the shoulder blades down. All right, so one more. Beautiful. And then we'll bend that knee, push off, step back. All right, right foot out, left foot forward. Same thing on this side here. Inhale, arms come up, bend the elbows, bend the knee, exhale. Excellent, one more. Beautiful, and then push up, start it up. All right, from here, let's come down to the floor. And we have straps here, and we're gonna use them, but I'll show you at home. If you don't have a strap, you can still do this. So, but before we get down to that, let's come into our garland pose, our squat, malasana, all those different names. All right, so if you haven't done this, I'll just show you. And your heels, sit down on the floor anytime you want. If you are up in this and your heels don't come all the way, you can practice this with your heels on a blanket until that stretches out a little bit more. It may never, and that's okay. We're in these bodies. All the things we did to get where we are going to get undone in one day. But this is a great way to practice that. So we sit in chairs. We don't sit down on the floor very often. So that's a good way to practice that if you want. If you're still up here, that's fine too. You can still practice up on the blanket. And you may eventually get down here. If you don't, that's okay. We'll deal with it, right? All right, so then coming all the way down onto the floor. And let's do a forward fold before we do anything else, just because we didn't do any standing up because spring allergies. So if you're seated, we're not bringing the head below the heart, and that helps with the sinus pressure. All right. So again, sitting up nice and tall. We'll take an inhale. On the exhale, just walk the hands forward. We're hinging at the hips. Wherever you get to, that's wonderful. And let's take 3 breaths here. So we'll inhale, come up a little bit. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift up just a little bit. Exhale, forward fold. And one more time, inhale. And exhale. On this exhale, let go, round all the way down, wherever you get again. And then when you're ready to come up, we're gonna inhale, lift the spine nice and long, walk the hands back. Excellent. All right, so let's come all the way down. We're going to bring the feet up to the top of the mat, bend the knees. You may have to slide the hips forward a little bit so you're not off the mat. Have your strap where you can reach it. And then if you have it, if you don't, we'll still show you what we're going to do. Hands on the knees, we're going to roll onto the flat of the back. All right, if you want to, before you go all the way down, elbows to knees, curling up into a nice tight ball, and then release. That's the most important thing, is release that tension. All right, we're going to do a couple of apanasanas before we get to the strap. 2 options. 1, hands on the knees, exhale, knees in, inhale, release. Or hands can come down to the thigh, close to where it meets the hip joint. We're going to exhale, hands slide up. So the knees are coming in towards the chest. Inhale, hands slide back towards the hips. So either way, if your shoulders are tight or uncomfortable, hands on the thighs, your better bet. And you can always bring the knees out away from each other this way. If there's some back issues, this might be more comfortable, or if there's a belly that's in the way, the knees can come out a little bit wider. Either way. And once you finish at least 3, we're going to bring the feet down to the mat. So now we're going to grab our straps. And if you don't have a strap, I'm just going to show you here. Bring your hands behind the thighs, one side, and then the other. All right. We've got straps, we're going to use them today. If you have one at home, that's great. So we're going to bring that foot, the right foot up into the strap. And what I don't want you to do is grab onto that strap and pull it down towards you. because now all of that work is in the arms and shoulders. So we're gonna bend the knees and relax the grip on the strap. All right, first direction is in towards the chest. So inhale, on the exhale, bring that leg in. Exhale, release. So let's do 2 more breaths here. Exhale, leg comes in. Inhale, release. And 1 more. Exhale. And in. And sorry, this left leg can be bent or out straight. You're probably going to get more range of motion with that leg bent. All right, left hand comes out to the side. Both straps are in the right hand, or that right hand on the outside of that right leg. And we're just going to bend and straighten that knee to bring the right leg over towards that right side. And just going as far as is comfortable. That may just be right here, and that's fine. And may loosen up over time, it may not, and that's okay too. To bring that leg back up, you know, bend and straighten. Bring it back up to the top. We're going to switch hands, both straps in the left hand, right arm comes out for stability, or you can have that left hand on the inside of that right leg. You may need to move that left leg out of the way a little bit. We're going to bend and straighten, bringing that right leg across the body towards the left side of the floor. You want to keep that right shoulder grounded. If we're popping that up off the floor, we're going too far. Excellent. Let's bend and straighten, bring that right leg back up to the top. We're going to bring 1 strap in each hand, switch feet. Left foot comes up, right foot comes down. Right knee can stay bent. And then we're going to bring that left leg in towards the chest for 3 breaths. So we'll inhale. On the exhale, the leg comes in. Inhale, release. Exhale, leg comes in. Inhale, release. And 1 more exhale in. Inhale, release. Both straps in the left hand, right arm comes out to the side, or that left hand on the outside of that left leg. You're going to bend and straighten and bring that left leg down towards the left side of the floor. Again, just going as far as is comfortable. Bend and straighten, bringing that left leg back up to center. We're going to switch hands, both straps in the right hand, the left arm out to the side. You need to slide that right leg out of the way. Bend and straighten, bringing that left leg across the body towards the right side of the floor, keeping that left shoulder grounded. And again, going just as far as is comfortable. You're going to bend and straighten to bring that, bless you, left leg back up to center. And then without smacking yourself in the face, release the strap. And we are done with that. So move that off to the side. Bless you. The next thing we're going to do is our soup to 5-4. I like to call it my upside down number 4. So we're going to bring the left foot into the mat, bend that left knee, and then we're going to place that right foot or right ankle on that left thigh. So if you can do the side of the right foot, that's great. Otherwise, the ankle works too. You take the right hand and gently push that right knee away while that left hand is on the hip. So we have this beautiful opening in that lower abdomen. And then you've got a couple of options here. So we'll release that hand. You can stay right here, and this is your pose. You can grab that left knee, or bring that left foot up towards the ceiling, wrapping the hands behind that left thigh, and it sort of looks like an upside down number 4. Some people call this thread the needle, and that's fine too. Either way, as long as you know what you're doing. And then when you're ready, you're going to release that left foot down to the mat. Right foot comes down, and then let's go to the other side. Left foot comes on to the right thigh, or the left ankle, wherever's comfortable. Left hand on that left knee, right hand on that right hip. opening that space, the lower abdomen. Breath. And then when you're ready, you release that. Couple of options, you can stay right here and this is your pose. You can grab that right knee or extend that right foot up towards the ceiling, wrapping the hands around that right thigh or upside down or forearm side. Beautiful. When you're ready, we'll release that right foot down to the mat. Left foot comes down, and then let's bring both knees back to the chest. And we'll do 3 Apanasanas. Exhale, knees come in, inhale, knees. Again, exhale, and inhale. Last one, exhale, and inhale. We're going to exhale the knees back in, and then on the inhale, feet come up towards the ceiling, arms overhead. Exhale, bend the knees, hands to knees. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. And one more time, inhale, open. Exhale, close. 3 more Apanasanas. Exhale, knees in. Inhale, open. Exhale, knees in. Inhale, open. And last one. Exhale. Inhale, and your set the feet down on the mat. Extend both legs all the way straight out. Zip up the legs, mermaid legs, toes pointed up towards the ceiling. And then we did the cactus arms with our warrior one. So if you want to do that again, you're welcome to do that. Other option, arms straight up overhead. Or snow angel arms, where the palms face up and we slide the hands up towards the crown of the head. So those are your 3 choices, and we'll do a few of those. All right, here. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale. Inhale, arms up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And one more. Inhale. And exhale. Wonderful. All right. Palms on the floor. Hands can be a little bit away from the body for some room to maneuver. We're going to inhale, lift the thumb up towards the ceiling, rolling over the pinky so that the palms face up. Exhale, bringing the palms back to the floor. Inhale, open. Exhale. Inhale, open. Exhale. Beautiful. Release that. Let the palms be facing up or facing down, whatever feels good for you. And release the legs and let the feet fall away from each other. Maybe shake that out if it was a little tight. Anything else? Any other wiggles that you need to get out before we come into our relaxation pose? Bring a blanket under your head. You put your feet up on a chair. Again, whatever feels comfortable. I'm going to sit up on a block and do a full body relaxation. So we'll walk down the body, relaxing each part as we go, starting with the feet. Relax the toes, the soles of the feet, the tops of the feet, and the heels. Release the ankles. Relax the calves and shins. Release the knees. Relax the top of the thighs, back of the thighs, and that space behind the knees. Let the pelvis be heavy and sink into the earth. Relax the abdomen. Release the rib cage and let go of breath. Relax the whole of the spine from the tailbone all the way to the base of the skull. Let the shoulders be heavy and sink into the earth. Relax the upper arms, elbows, and lower arms. Release the wrists. Relax the hands, fingers, and palms. Relax the throat and the back of the neck. Let the jaw be heavy. Let the tongue fall away from the roof of the mouth. Let the eyes be heavy and fall to the back of the head. Smooth the forehead and face. Let any last thoughts seep out the top of the crown of the head. Let the earth's gravity hold you. Let the air around you breathe you. Take the next few moments and just be. Gently coming back into awareness. Wiggle your toes. Wiggle your fingers. Roll your head side to side. When you're ready, with an inhale, rolling over onto your right or left side. When you're ready, and again with an inhale, using your upper arm to push up to a comfortable seated position. And since the sun's playing hide and seek, I think, today, let's finish with our sun breath number 4. So that looks like this. Start with your hands at the heart. Inhale, hands down, arms up. Exhale, all the way down, hands back to the heart. 3 times. Ready, here we go. Inhale. And exhale. Again, inhale. And exhale. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Bringing the hands back together, back to the heart as we go forth on this beautiful spring day. Let's go forth with kindness, compassion, and gratitude, not just for others, but especially for ourselves. We'd like you to say,
Namaste.
Thank you very much. Thank you, guys.